So you sit down for the big movie of the summer and it slowly dawns on you.
Hey, black girl magic!
I think I'm over the MCU. So you decide to watch a different blockbuster to experience something new and fresh.
Get right back up.
I had to do some Jason Bourne shit.
How did we get here? A long time ago, Marvel was struggling and had pimped out all their major superheroes to different companies. But today, the MCU is one of the most successful capitalist endeavors of all time. So how did they pull this off? Well, one aspect of it is the magic formula they curated over their 30-plus movie run.
Kevin Feige confirmed at CinemaCon 2022 that the MCU plan now goes all the way to 2032.
Marvel movies have a vibe. They're camp, but not too camp. Humorous, but not necessarily comedies, built around huge impressive set pieces, and the characters are impossibly clever, answering everyone with a witty retort a la every character ever written by Joss Whedon.
What master do you serve? What master do I serve? What am I supposed to say, Jesus?
Another aspect being an idea that feels old now, but was conceptually fresh when it started. What if our audience needs to see the first 4 movies before we paid their attention off with an Avengers film? It's a perfect blend of simple to digest media that's colorful and loud enough for tired dads dragged to the theater by their kids, and comic book zealots who have enough energy to get excited about the fact that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to save the MCU after declining interest.
I am Marvel Jesus.
You got to get the fans going. But unfortunately, you know, you're one of the few who really grew up and loved this one, because most people never heard of Iron Man, most of the population. And with a movie like this, you got to sell tickets to everybody.
Before the MCU became the colossal juggernaut of modern cinema, the groundwork for its success was laid by earlier films that mastered a similar formula, albeit on a smaller scale. 2 of the most influential of these proto-MCU films were The Mummy, 1999, and Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
This is the tale of Captain Jack Sparrow.
The Mummy was a perfect blend of action, adventure, and humor. It took the classic horror concept and infused it with a modern sense of fun, making it accessible to a broad audience. The film's hero, Rick O'Connell, played by Brendan Fraser, was a witty, charming, and slightly roguish character who could fit right into a Guardians movie as well as anyone. Similarly, Captain Jack Sparrow, portrayed by Johnny Depp, became an iconic figure embodying the same kind of quirky, irreverent hero that would later become a staple of the MCU.
When you marooned me on that godforsaken spit of land, you forgot one very important thing, mate. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow.
Who?
The film's success was not just in its impressive set pieces or special effects, but its inability to mix swashbuckling action with moments of levity and wit. Both The Mummy and the Pirates movies managed to find the sweet spot between camp and seriousness, in a world that was still recovering from the mess Joel Schumacher made in the Batman and Robin movie, where he turned the camp dial up just a little too high for modern audiences. Moreover, these movies were built around impressive set pieces that showcased the growing capabilities of CGI at the time. Whether it was the sandstorm in The Mummy or the epic naval battles in Pirates of the Caribbean, these movies were visually spectacular, setting a new standard for what blockbuster films should deliver. So when Marvel Studios set out to create their cinematic universe, they didn't start from scratch. Instead, they borrowed heavily from the successful elements of films like these. Tony Stark was a hero in the mold of a Rick O'Connell and a Jack Sparrow, charming, witty, and deeply flawed, yet ultimately likable.
I am Iron Man.
His snarky one-liners and irreverent attitude set the tone for the entire MCU, establishing a brand of humor and personality that would become a hallmark of the whole franchise. So what could go wrong? Having many cohesive stories pay off with an Avengers flick every few years was a boon in the beginning, but as the franchise has grown, it's become a weight around its neck. It's one thing to have to watch 6 movies for a story to pay off, but if you wanted to catch up now, you'd have to watch 30+ movies and 5+ TV shows. The value promise is broken under its own weight. 2. The movies end up suffering when you need to keep these characters around for 30 movies, so each movie feels lower stakes because consequences feel impermanent.
No. I am Groot.
I know who you are already!
Twice already they've resurrected a dead character by kidnapping them from the multiverse. Are you crying over Loki finally going and sacrificing himself for the greater good? Well, dry your tears with 2 more seasons of slightly different Loki played by the same actor.
How is Wolverine alive?
Yeah.
After Logan?
Logan takes place in 2029, totally separate thing. Logan died in Logan, not touching that.
3. When Avatar 1 came out, the public couldn't believe how incredible and beautiful the CGI was. People were getting depressed after experiencing all the glory.
Here it is. When I woke up this morning after watching Avatar for the first time yesterday, the world seemed gray.
But 30 MCU movies later, and no one was visually impressed in the same way with Avatar 2.
that I do feel like visually this is a very beautiful looking movie. You know, James Cameron is, I think, has become one of those filmmakers where he is more obsessed with the look of a movie than its characters or its storytelling.
That's because we're completely immune to the fireworks display that most MCU films are. It's just not enough anymore, but it seems to be the golden hammer that they're married to.
Assemble.
They haven't practiced how to offer anything but hollow flashiness. The Fast and Furious movies started as guys stealing VCRs, but now it's about them going to space and being superhumans. Now most blockbusters that aren't MCU films still hit the same list of what makes an epic action-adventure blockbuster feel like one. And unfortunately, the MCU is the gold standard, so guess what every movie feels like?
All the studios try to pivot to this type of movie making, and if it doesn't work anymore, what do you do now? So It's a huge relief that Deadpool and Wolverine has done so completely well.
Nah, whatever. RDJ's back, baby! The end.